How are you guys?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? All right. So, my name's Rebecca. It's nice to meet you both.
Nice to meet you, Rebecca. I'm Spencer. This is Haley.
Nice to meet you. Do you want to just go ahead and get started?
Yeah. Sure.
All right. All right. My first question is just how did you two meet?
So we were in fifth grade. We were 10 years old, and we were living across the street from each other and going to the same elementary school. So naturally, we found each other. And the first time that we ever hung out, we were already like singing immediately. And pretty much the rest is history. Once we met, we never separated. We've done everything together.
That's awesome. And so what are some goals that you have set for yourself in the next few years? Like, what do you see yourself doing as far as your career goes in the next couple of years?
We would absolutely love to get on tour. We love performing is our favorite thing. So this past year has been hard not actually getting to share our music in person live, having that audience relationship. So definitely touring and also just putting out a ton of new music. We've been writing a lot this past year and just producing, recording, and just ready to kind of put out our music and perform.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely missing tour as well myself. So you have a very distinctive like indie pop style, and you have lots of strong harmonies and beautiful melodies. So what are some of your musical influences that have kind of helped you shape your sound and continue to do so?
Well, as far as harmonies go, we've been inspired by the Indigo Girls, who are another female power duo. But we also didn't want to go like the folk route. So we wanted to create a bigger sound closer to Imagine Dragons or One Republic.
Yeah, that's awesome. Definitely some good ones in there. But you guys just have such a strong sound, and I think that is going to be so like helpful for you going forward, is that you already have like your sound established. So that's awesome. And so what does being women in music mean to you, like specifically female musicians looking to, tour and do the whole music thing? So like what does being women in music mean to you?
That's a great question. It is a great question. Well, I think that there's a lot of statistics around women in music, and that significantly more men become successful and more men behind the scenes. And what we've kind of been forced to do is become everything. So we are the musicians, we are the writers, we're also our own booking agents and our own managers. And, we've had to take on every role. So I would say that our goal going in, like in the music industry, is to not let men run the show. Like we do want to be like a woman strong band. Like if it's up to us, we would have an entire woman squad.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, that's what I always like to ask people that when I interview them, just because of like what our publication is, and I always love to hear people's answers. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I love that question.
Yeah. So what do you hope for the next generation of female musicians like coming up? Like what advice would you give to them, and what do you hope that they know going forward?
I would say just to feel empowered to be in your own lane. A lot of time, like in the industry, there's so much comparison, seeing what other artists are doing and finding your sound, sticking to it, and being empowered that you can be the musician, you can also engineer, you can produce, and there's just so much creative outlets other than the writing. And I think that's what we've been finding, is we can take control of our engineering and our producing and just everything as a whole. Yeah, I would also say that it's a new industry than it was 10 years ago. Women don't have to be sexy on stage. Like
there's such a more like broader acceptance rate of all different types of women. We don't have to fit into this bubble anymore. There's been so many artists that have, inspired us. And I think that that's just a good reminder to everyone, is like, we don't have to be in a bubble. You don't have to be sexy on stage to wow people.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. That's a great answer. So back to you both, like as 76th Street, was making music together kind of always an interest, or was it just like separate interests that ended up just fitting beautifully together?
It's always the main interest we had.
Yeah, and we both have equal passions for music, for sure. Like, we'd be pursuing music no matter which way we possibly could. But since we met and since we found our musical chemistry, we both really can't imagine it any other way.
That's awesome. Yeah, totally. And it seems to work, the just like two of you. You guys do, like you said, you do so much. And I think that you're already so strong together. So that's awesome. And you also won the best desk in the 2019 NPR Tiny Desk competition. So what did that mean to you as musicians and as friends and business partners?
That was such a cool experience. We have always been a fan of NPR Tiny Desk, just watching all of the channel on YouTube and things like that. So we love that it's really based on like the writing. And so we sang our song Warrior, which is just kind of a testament to heroes and people that really make a difference. And we actually went back to our sixth grade teacher's classroom to film that video.
That's so sweet.
Our sixth grade teacher actually filmed the video.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Behind the camera. So
yeah,
it was a really cool experience.
That's awesome. Yeah, congrats to you on that. That's such a huge deal. And what are some other experiences that have been valuable for you, kind of like that competition, either in your personal life or in your music career, but have kind of shaped, your goals and how you want to move forward in your music career?
One of our biggest, most proudest moments is when we performed at the Van Buren in Phoenix, and we opened for one of our favorite artists, LP. That was in 2019.
Wow.
And what was so cool about that show is we actually got her attention through writing a song for her, kind of saying that we'd love to open up for her. So finding that kind of those creative ways has really been a theme throughout our music career, is making our own way and seeing how we can use our songwriting and our networking to get what we want and not rely on other people to kind of give us those opportunities.
Yeah, you certainly can't just wait for the opportunities to fall into your lap. You have to create them and make them yourself. Like in this example, she probably would have had a different opener. She had never heard of us before, but we got thousands of our closest friends to tag her in this video, and eventually she saw it and said, all right, come on board. And that show changed our lives. It was the most validating performance of our lives, because it was a sold out show at our dream venue, and everyone was just wild for our music. And it was just, at the end, we're like, okay, we're doing the right thing.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing. That's actually so cool that you guys ended up doing that. That is so awesome. And it kind of leads into my next question. Who have been some of your female role models? And that can be either musically or not. That can just be your personal life too.
That's a very good question. Well, it might be cheesy, but our moms.
Of course.
We both have very strong, wonderful mothers that have absolutely shaped us to be who we are. And then just in the music industry, I mean, I brought up the Indigo Girls before, but they really like paved the way for women in music, in my opinion. Um, and they're still going and they're still touring and nothing can stop them. And I just love that, how much love they have for the music, that all these years later, they're still going. And like, that's what I strive to do. And,
for me, well, I picked up my guitar when I was 10 because of Taylor Swift. So I just thought,
Yeah.
love.
oh,
She is never afraid to speak her mind, standing up for her music, putting out that re-recorded Fearless album, just not letting people or men specifically get in her way.
Yeah.
I totally second that. Taylor Swift is the bomb.
Absolutely. I totally agree. So last question for you guys. What is next for 76th Street? Like, what do you have anything in the works? Is there anything you can let us know about?
So we have a couple singles in the works that will come out with videos. And we're gonna start putting out that news within the next couple of months, and we're really excited about it.
That's awesome. Then we'll definitely have to put a little note in there so everybody knows. But that's all I have for you guys. So I just wanted to say thank you for coming on to Feminine Roar and chatting with me today. Thank you again for speaking to us, and we're excited to see what comes next for you guys.
All right. Thank you so much, Rebecca.
Of course. Have a good one.
You too.
Bye.